Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about going from standard form to vertex form. And this is probably one of the harder things to do, but using our TI-36X Pro, we should be okay. So, when we have standard form, we're going to plug it into PolySolve. Second, PolySolve. Press enter, and we're going to plug in our information. So our A is 2, our B is negative 16, and our C is 33. Press solve, and it gives us answers, okay? Not concerned about these. What you're going to do is you're going to scroll all the way down until you see A, H, and K. Look at that. It is there. It's been there the whole time. Just haven't really talked about it. So our A here is 2. Our H is 4. And our K is equal to 1. Now, that's all the information really we need from our calculator. If you don't remember the formula for Vertex, notice it is actually up there. A, parentheses, X minus H, in parentheses, squared, plus K equals 0. So, writing it in vertex form, we would take our A, parentheses, X, that's a positive 4, so when I write it inside the parentheses, it's going to be X minus 4 squared, and then our K is a positive 1, so we leave it as a positive 1. Now, if I want to know our vertex is just our H and our K, like we talked about earlier. So our vertex is 4, 1. That's our vertex. Our A is positive, so if it's positive, that means the graph goes up. So that means that vertex is going to be a minimum. So we have a minimum vertex at 4, 1. What is the 2 going to do to our graph? Well, that is going to stretch our graph. X minus 4, we're going to move to the right 4. Again, the opposite there, but if you just go to your H, how do I get to 4 on my X chart? I'd move right to the 4. And then 1 would go up 1. And that should be right 4, by the way. Right 4, up 1. Right 4, up 1. Okay? And again, we went from standard form, and this right here is vertex form. 2 parentheses X minus 4 squared plus 1. Let's go to the next question. All right, we're going to go back to our calculator. I'm going to clear. Over here, second PolySolve. Enter. My A here is negative 1. My B here is 6. And my C is negative 10. Solve. Again, not worried about the solutions. I'm more concerned about the A, the H, and the K. So the A is negative 1. The H, which is 3, and the K, which is negative 1. Again, all I need from the calculator at this point. Well, if I just look at my vertex only, well, it's just my H and my K, which is 3 and negative 1. Notice my A is negative, right? So if it's negative, it's going to reflect over the x-axis. Again, just fancy wording for all it's going to do is now it's going to go down. If it's a negative A, the graph goes down. And then what is that point? That is a maximum. That is a maximum. All right. And then if we want to start doing our vertex form, well, we know it to be negative 1, parentheses, X. That's a positive H. So now when we write in here, it'll be minus 3 squared. And then our K is minus 1 or negative 1, so we put minus 1. And that is the vertex form right there. Now finishing this out, the 3 is going to move the graph to the right. So right 3. And the K is negative 1, so it'll go down 1. Down 1. So again, just kind of take that in. If you need to, rewatch that, understand what each letter means. I'm going to do one more here, the last one. Again, I try to say the best for last. So here, again, second PolySolve. Enter. I can put my A as negative 1 over 4. Enter. My B is 2. Enter. And my C is negative 7. Solve. Again, go all the way down to where it says A, H, and K. So my A is negative 1 over 4. My H is 4. And my K is negative 3. All right, well, my vertex here is just my H and my K, which is 4 and negative 3. So it's 4, negative 3. My A is negative, so it's going to reflect over the x-axis. And again, all that means is the graph is going to go down now. We have a very top point, which means that is a maximum. Again, we didn't look at our H or K to figure out if it's max or min. We looked at the A to figure out if it was a max or min. So keep that in mind. Now, when I write this in form, it would be 1 over 4, parentheses, x, that's a positive 4, so we turn it to a minus 4 squared. And then our K is minus 3, so we put minus 3 on the outside. Now, what is, again, the negative tells us reflect over the x-axis. What does the 1/4 tell us, though? We're not looking at that negative anymore. We're just looking at the 1/4. And that's going to tell us the graph is going to shrink. It's going to shrink because it is a fraction of 1/4. Here we have a minus 4, but again, we kind of know 4 is going to move to the right. So this is right 4. And the 3 is going to go down 3. All right, so again, I know a lot there. 3 great examples to look at, go back and look at, go back and look at. Write these down, put these in PolySolve. You got to practice these on your own. If you don't put in time, if you don't practice, you're probably not going to be very good at these, and you're probably going to miss them on the test. So put in some time, practice these, watch this video, do it over and over and over again until you finally grasp the idea of the concepts of A, H, and K, and then what vertex form looks like. Again, too, if you ever have questions, feel free to ask. I look forward to seeing you in class.